Philosophers have said that there are only 7 stories we keep repeating throughout history. Tonight, we're gonna pick one and tell it again. This is The Treatment, a podcast about stories with your hosts Billy Beck, Cody Beck, and Mark Lucas. The Treatment is filmed before a live studio audience.
And after the live studio audience, we'll film something different. No, that wasn't good. Start over.
So I have a review of our last movie.
Oh, yeah.
Don't Be Late.
I remember this.
This was kind of a comedy that was filmed in real time. The review from film.com, who gives it an 8 out of 10, writes, Don't Be Late is a very fast, often very funny riff on a very tired Hollywood formula. I think that's pretty good.
That seems solid to me.
That's what we were going for.
So what's on the spinning circle of stories for this week, Bill?
On the spinning circle of stories today, we have Ichabod Crane, Snow Queen, Romeo and Juliet, Handful of Spiders, Dracula, Isekai, Hansel and Gretel, Chosen One High Fantasy, and Unproblematic Teen Boner Comedy.
Oh my god.
I hope that the wheel lands on Belch. Which is unfair because it's on there twice.
I know, but it didn't. It landed on Ichabod Crane.
Okay, fun. This is one of mine, and one I've been thinking about a lot since I first put it on the circle. So, going from memory, Ichabod Crane is another one of those, Washington Irving stories. It takes place sometime in the past, somewhere in, upstate New York, in a little town called Sleepy Hollow. The main guy of the story is Ichabod Crane. He's not from Sleepy Hollow. He's like a transplant to the community, and he's kind of what I would call a fancy boy. He's a school teacher, and he likes the finer things in life. Good food, good conversation with good-looking ladies. So he's a big hit with the social scene in Sleepy Hollow. And he has eyes on the rich farmer's single daughter. The other person who has eyes on that daughter is Brom Bones, who, first off, his name is Brom Bones, which is just fun to say. That's a good name, Brom Bones. Brom Bones is kind of like if Disney's Gaston wasn't an asshole. Burly, beefy, a real man's man. Now, Ichabod Crane is really superstitious. For being a fancy lad, he believes a lot of old wives' tales. On Halloween night, there's a big party at the rich farmer's house, and Ichabod goes to the party where he proposes that his daughter marry him, and she turns him down. Later that night, Brom Bones, trying to really freak Ichabod out, tells the story of the Headless Horseman, the ghost of a Hessian mercenary from the French and Indian War, whose head was blowed off by a cannonball. And now he rides through these woods on a night just like tonight, looking for his head or a suitable replacement. The only way to escape him is to ride your horse past the bridge in front of the church, because that's holy ground. Well, this story freaks Ichabod out, and when it's 2 a.m, he has to ride home from the party. The farmer lends him an old nag to ride, and as he rides through the forest, he sees a headless figure riding on a horse and holding a head. He freaks the fuck out and rides as fast as he can towards the church. The figure throws the head, and then it kind of sharply cuts there to the next morning. The next morning, Ichabod is nowhere to be found. A smashed-up pumpkin is found on the bridge, and that horse he was riding is grazing in the cemetery next to the church. There's also a really weird, I think I remember reading a really weird epilogue that takes place years later at a corporation meeting in Manhattan. And the corporate meeting, a guy just finished telling this story about Ichabod Crane and Sleepy Hollow. And then he says, which really just goes to show what everybody says. But then when somebody else asks him to explain what the fuck this story is about, he admits, I don't actually know.
So, you're mostly correct. It's a Revolutionary War soldier. Brom Bones' full real name is Abraham Van Brunt. And
That's almost as much fun to say as Brom Bones.
and in the end, the mystery does remain unresolved. The tale is later retold by a narrator who admits he is not entirely sure what to believe.
You're looking this up on Wikipedia, right?
Yes.
Did I just totally make up the Manhattan corporate thing?
That was probably one of the, if it's the Disney one, because this was packaged with Ichabod, it was Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
No, I know it wasn't that, even though I've never seen that movie. I've never seen any movies.
You may have added a later version of it where this story was told. But yeah, this just says there's a later tale of a narrator.
That admits he doesn't know what the point of it is.
Correct.
So there's kind of the way the story ends. In my mind, there's two possibilities, right? Or maybe to put it that there's two questions we need to answer. If not necessarily if we're telling the story straight up, but this will still guide our thinking. The first question is this a ghost, or is this Brom Bones? Like, disguising himself as a ghost. And the second question is Ichabod Crane dead, or is he so terrified that he flees the town and never comes back?
So, if we go with the two spooky options, which it is actually a ghost and he is actually dead, that feels like it's in the same vein as our Ratcatcher of Hamelin. And to me, that feels like that's something we've already done. So I think it might be fun to do differently. So I'm not saying we can't do him dead, but I think we can't do both it's a ghost and he's dead. We would either have to do it's a ghost and he just flees, or the other combinations.
So just kind of composing an image that's now in my head. If it is a real ghost, and Ichabod Crane is alive but flees, this paints a picture that to me is kind of fun about how this is a real haunted ghost type town, and everybody else is cool with it. I'm reminded of something I think I saw on either TikTok or Twitter, where it's talking about like the horror movie trope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know there's noises in the woods. The trick is you fucking ignore it. Yeah, I hear the crying out there. I'm not going out there. It cries every friggin' night. It's them dumb city slickers that come out here and they get got. Why? Because they go outside.
So, the fact that you said Hessian earlier, to me, Van Brunt reads as a very German last name. Maybe Dutch, but something like that. It could be a fun thing if the Headless Horseman is an ancestor of the Van Brunts, and that's why they know about it and they're cool with it. If we wanted to go that way. Because I think you also have to decide, like, the Wikipedia says that Ichabod kind of sucks. He's not necessarily trying to marry Katrina because he loves her. He's marrying her because he's a social climber. So yes. I think we've kind of done this as well with our Big Bad Wolf, where he's kind of a shitty dude, but it might be interesting to be in the shoes of the shitty dude who's trying to social climb, and that could also explain why Brom and the ghost are both like, fuck this dude.
Okay.
One more question that I think we always need to kind of pin down early on. Do we want to keep this set in somewhere in the past in upstate New York? Or do we want to play around with time, space, and genre?
I don't want to necessarily set it in the same past it was written in, but we could set it in our past, like the 50s.
I think there's a lot of similarities that would go well.
Because my American history is not great, admittedly, but I do recall there being a cultural thing in upstate New York in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Am I making shit up?
Are you making a very specific reference to Woodstock?
No, I didn't even think about Woodstock. And now I'm thinking this story, but with a bunch of stoners at Woodstock.
I mean, that could be our framing device, is stoners are telling this story.
No, what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of, like, the Borscht Belt and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Dirty Dancing?
Yeah.
That was more 80s?
Well, that came out in the 80s. I don't think it took place in the 80s.
You're right. Because wasn't that around the time that the Poconos were also starting to be, like, falling off as a honeymoon destination, and it started to be more New York?
Yeah, so Kind of, yeah. Like, the Borscht Belt was from the 20s through the 60s, and it was, like, just a big Jewish holiday location. And then it, like, kind of fell off and isn't quite a thing anymore. Us, the three of us, considering where we grew up and our histories, would probably better equate it to the Poconos. Yeah. And I think it was you, Mark, who was telling me not too long ago that the Poconos were, like, this massive, like, honeymoon
They were the honeymoon capital of the world.
For a while.
From, like, the 40s through, like, the early 80s.
So this would make sense, because we could set it in October, which is, like, when the wedding season is kind of dying down.
Mm-hmm.
Because traditional wedding season is from, like, May through September. So wedding season is dying down, it's a tourist trap, and it's now just all the locals, except this one guy who's still there, and that's Ichabod.
He hangs late, like, he has...
He's a school teacher in the original.
Okay, I'm thinking, like our friend Duke Devlin at Woodstock. He stayed behind after a wedding and started crashing weddings and is staying in town. Like, has no life to go back to for whatever reason.
Well, could he be the live-in... something? Could he be a live-in pastor, live-in something? A little, like, indoorsy something?
I'm just thinking, like, having him... Because if we're going to do the social climbing element of it, having him be also a fish out of water in this town that regularly exists with ghosts and is okay with it, like, how do we get that character logically in that situation? That's... Because if we can nail that down good, then I think we have a setting and tone. Not quite tone. You still have to work out tone.
So, first, my idea is one of the Pocono honeymoon resorts that's been struggling compared to its local competition. And they bring in an outside consultant to run either the business or the hospitality division or something like that. And that's our guy.
But that's a little, like... Maybe he doesn't necessarily need to be social climbing in this one. He's just the fish out of water, and the whole town is kind of rude to him.
No, I like the idea of him being social climbing still.
Okay.
This resort is struggling. It gets bought out by a larger parent company, and they send a trainer. So he's just a lackey for the corporation, and I'm going to step away from my normal bullshit. And this isn't going to be a big anti-corporate thing. This is just to get a guy in there. He's just, like, low on the totem pole, gets sent to all these new hotels that the company keeps buying to train their staff in the hotel corp way. So that keeps the teacher element.
Okay.
Keeps him a fish out of water. But also he hates his job.
And keeps him kind of low status.
Mm-hmm.
Low status. And he kind of hates his job and wants to get out, which gives him a reason to and you could even allude that every town he's sent to, he tries this. Starts finding rich young women to try and marry his way up and out of his job.
I wanted us to touch on the tone question.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like both the way that we do stories, and I mean the way we are in general, I feel like this one we're going to make light. We're going to make a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
It's not quite horror comedy. I feel like it has to be horror because it involves ghosts. And if we're aiming a light tone, by definition, that's comedy. Not a full-on, like, ha-ha-ha comedy, but...
like... horror, but not thriller.
If everything is either a comedy or a drama, this is a comedy.
Yeah. Like, no one dies at the end. His life is not threatened, per se.
And I still really love that bit about this story being told by somebody who at the end is asked what the point was and admits, I don't know. I like stories. Dad, what was the point of that story? I like stories.
I'm sure we'll come up with a tag on the end.
I mean, it could be one of those, like, pointless and anodyne stories they cram into training presentations.
Yeah, it's his original jobs training the person who trained the next him. And this is why you don't flirt with personnel.
Yes, except it's not literally, it's today.
Mm.
It is Hotel Court today. And it's not revealed until the end that this is a training video from Hotel Court today. And you know, that's why you don't fraternize with the locals. Is that really the point? Yes. But what about the stuff with the ghost? Look, man, I didn't make the movie, okay? Some guys did.
This VHS tape has been in the back room for generations.
They're really...
It says copyright 1982, Steve.
That's generations of employees. Shut up,
We're
Steve.
getting old!
Shut up, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the two adaptations that I'm more familiar with are Sleepy Hollow and the Disney one. And the Disney one, of course, it's Disney, so they strike that balance of funny and then it gets scary once the ghost is involved. And of course, Sleepy Hollow is straight up horror. So I think we would do better to lean towards the Disney.
I have the smoothest brain on this. I've neither read nor seen a Sleepy Hollow. So...
Well, as has been firmly established, I cannot read, and I have never seen a movie. And that's why we're approaching this with fresh eyes.
Why do I do this podcast with you guys?
Because we end up with, we have a stellar track record.
Okay. Is this live action or is this a cartoon?
Live action.
Live action.
Okay.
I feel like, in my mind, we don't ask that question every week, but in my mind, they've almost all been live action, except for the Big Bad Wolf trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Little Match Girl, I think, was animated.
Yeah, Little Match Girl was animated.
Yeah. The reason
So I'm picturing... Go ahead.
Just gonna say, the reason I mentioned animated was because then we could have a hard cut at the end, where it becomes live action people. I'm not married to that idea, it was just a suggestion.
I think we set up that joke tag at the end with voice narration.
Okay. Over the credits.
No. The film, as the audience knows that the Sleepy Hollow story set in the Poconos in the 50s, is just narrated. And then it's only at the end that the camera zooms out as the narrator says his last line. And then we see modern people in a modern room with the TV cart having the conversation about what was the point of all this. And that way we can also have the narrator, moralize for comedic effect.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's almost funnier if it's live action with kind of decent-looking Hollywood movie-type budget. You know, like good CGI and practical effects for the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So that when you zoom out and this is just a shitty training module.
Yeah.
With a $30 million budget.
I also think it would...
One of the trainees could even point out the expensive budget.
I was going to say, it would be really funny if we did a stunt cast and someone was like, how did a training module get Chris Evans? It was early in his career. Don't worry about it.
The credits are rolling on the TV card. ILM did the effects on this? Roger Deakins, cinematographer.
Yeah, they owed our owner a favor. It's fine. That's not the point.
It was a tax write-off, okay? That's not...
Directed by Steven Spielberg.
So, I'm picturing the very opening sunrise over the Poconos and just kind of really pretty morning shots at, different honeymoon resorts, like showing it's the dew on the grass on the putting green and some ducks by the swan boats.
Real quick, the original story is set in New York. Niagara Falls instead of Poconos?
No.
Okay.
America.
Generic America.
Poconos it is.
I don't think Poconos gets enough love.
It does not.
We're getting real dangerously close to doxing all of ourselves.
We just need... The Poconos needs more love than the Booze Cruise episode of The Office, okay? As somebody who used to summer at Lake Wallenpaupack, which freezes over in the winter when that episode takes place. Anyway, yes, everything you said then.
And along with that, I want to say the sound of a radio commercial for our... What's going to be our resort that Ichabod comes to do the training for.
Is he, driving into town? Or has he already been here a while?
I like the idea of following him into town.
Okay.
I think I want to establish the resort, and then he comes into town. So we get, some shots of the place in its struggle.
Yeah, the stills, right? The still, not stills, but the stationary shots with the radio of the, or the audio of the radio ad over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the first scene with action is they turn off the radio in like the lobby of where we're gonna be, and two maybe even nameless characters discussing how their resort is struggling compared to some other places nearby. And I hope that our new managers at Hotel Corp can turn things around for us. They're sending somebody to train us in doing things the Hotel Corp way, and I think that's going to turn everything around for us next season. Then it cuts to Ichabod in whatever vehicle he drives. I want to say it's like this is the 50s, like a Woody wagon.
Yeah, like a really a popular car, but not popular because it was cool. Popular because it was affordable.
Yeah,
Like a Dodge Dart, or
like a Nash.
yeah, a
Nash
Rambler. Yeah. Now we're talking.
So then, after they discuss this new trainer that's coming in to train us in the Hotel Corp way, cut to him in his Rambler with the same ad playing on the radio, but a lot quieter, and he turns it off or changes the station.
He turns it off, pulls out a map, and starts looking, and this is where we introduce our narrator.
Our narrator and also Brom Bones. He pulls over to read the map, and I want to say that Brom is like a local farmer who provides meat to the hotel.
Okay.
Like he needs to be A, local, and B, like tough and macho, and he needs to have something to do with the hotel that isn't him actually working there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because if we're gonna play the class element, I feel like he should also be higher class than Ichabod Crane. And I feel like Farmer is too even.
See, I don't think he needs to be higher class than Ichabod, but he needs to be comfortable with his station. Ichabod wants to marry Catherine because he views that as a step up. Brom Bones wants to marry Catherine because he actually cares, maybe?
What if he's the liquor distributor in town? He does all the hotels. And Catherine's the bar manager.
What if he's both works for the distributor, and also he's got a side gig as a handyman? So whenever these resorts need like a light fixture replaced, call Brom.
Yeah, because the liquor stops moving in the winter because there's fewer guests. So that's when they all call him to do it. Okay, I'm trying to make it make sense. Yeah, he does the repairs at the hotels and whatnot over the winter when there's no guests.
Yeah, I think it should be pretty clear that he's works with his hand, or he may not necessarily work with his hands full time, but he's definitely a guy that knows what he's doing in that realm, whereas it should be very clear that Ichabod is not.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is by the book and city slicker through and through.
He is a man's man. Jack of all trades, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you had said Catherine being like bar manager. I think she's also daughter of like the former owner.
Yeah, that works fine.
Who's now like just general manager. He used to be the owner, then Hotel Corp bought us out. Now I'm still in charge. I just don't own it.
Yeah. And she might have some beef with Hotel Corp over that.
I mean, we could also go the maitre d' route. And that's why Ichabod is so charmed by her, because charming is her fucking personality.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I'm thinking, like, Grand Budapest Hotel style, the maitre d' has the most power in that place. It's not the owner, but...
You keep saying maitre d'. What is it? Concierge.
Concierge, yes.
Concierge.
Thank you.
I was like, that's not right. Maitre d's are snooty and have no power. No, I like that. Concierge is good. Because then that explains why she knows the whole town.
Yes.
And also why the whole town would kind of be okay with letting its ghosts attack this outsider. Because she's better than him.
Yeah. I think we do need to make Ichabod at least a little bit redeeming, because it needs to be mildly believable that she might be interested in him. Because it is an actual thing where it's an actual genuine fight between Brahm and Ichabod.
Yeah, I agree. That's... I'm trying to think how to do that. I mean, him being the protagonist in a traditional sense will help with that a lot. Just having the camera be from his perspective.
Yeah.
And I think he'll have... I don't know what I'm trying to say. He will be charming in his own right, just, like, beaten down.
Okay.
What if he finds, as he's coming into the resort, he finds, like, an injured duckling, and he brings it in to the, into the lobby when he comes in to introduce himself. I found this duckling, but he's hurt. And he wants to help save the
cat?
This is the save the cat moment, but it's a duckling.
Yes. I do like the idea of duckling, though, because calling back to a different fairy tale.
I mean, do you want to really hit the nail on the head and it's a toad?
Ducklings are cute.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And maybe he knows just enough that, like, you're the concierge, right? Can you get me to two of those wooden stirs from the bar? Two wooden stirs from the bar and some tape. I think I can splint this little leg, and I'll take care of this duck until it's well again. And she's like, "Aw, this guy likes animals and is very nurturing." But before we get there, he's in the car, turns off the radio playing the ad, and then pulls over to read a map to try and figure out how to get to this place. The narrator, like, introduces our protagonist. Does he even introduce him that way as our protagonist, Ichabod Crane?
Yeah, like, straight up. This is our protagonist, Ichabod Crane. He is a training helper at Hotel Corp. He's been sent by the company to help this struggling resort property build itself back up in the Hotel Corp way. Like, maybe not quite fully training module, but, like, close enough that on the rewatch it's funny.
Yes.
And then Brom Bones pulls up next to him in his pickup truck. Because he has to drive a pickup truck. That's who Brom Bones is. And asks, "Hey buddy, are you lost?" Does Ichabod accept his help?
I'm still trying to place Ichabod's personality in my head, and I kind of see him as complimentary a wiener. So I think he would.
Yes. Well, he has no reason to dislike this guy yet.
Like he's like naive, but also like a bit of a pushover. A bit of a doormat.
Yeah.
A doormat when he needs to be. He can be forceful when he needs to be. But he doesn't need to be very often.
Yeah. And I would say he's very good at his job, no matter how little he likes it. So when he's forceful, like, that's where he's forceful. Like, in the stuff that he's confident in, which is his job.
I think, and we'll figure this out later, but I think there comes some points where he gets forceful with Brom Bones.
Yeah.
But I don't know how yet, and it's not time for that anyway.
Yeah, we're talking like late second act there.
Late game.
When we have a full-on love triangle going.
Mm-hmm.
So he accepts Brom Bones' help. I'm going to Sweetheart Resort. Oh yeah, that's just down here and on the left. You can't miss it. It's next to that duck pond. He finds we have the save the duck moment.
Okay. And
then he as he's splinting up the broken duck leg, he formally introduces himself to Catherine and her father. I'm Ichabod Crane. I'm the one sent by Hotel Court to do some training with your management and staff.
And I think we see Catherine drop a little bit when he mentions he's from Hotel Corp. Because I think part of her character arc is going to be coming to terms with the fact that it was better for her father to sell.
Corporations always have your best interest at heart.
I think, just piecing it together in my mind, when Ichabod first shows up, she thinks he's a guest who brought his injured duck.
Yeah.
But then when he introduces himself and she realizes, like, oh, we're on the same team. We both technically work for the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And then she doesn't have to be as formal with him.
Okay, yeah.
In the beginning, what is the relationship between Catherine and Brom Bones?
I think friendly, flirty.
There's history there.
I think we also need to decide ages. Are these adults or are these teenagers?
Adults. 20s to 30s.
Okay.
I think there's history with Brom Bones and Catherine, and I don't think it needs to be more than a night 8-9 years ago that they both left thinking, we tried, it wasn't what we thought it was going to be, still friendly.
He still carries a torch for her.
Of course he does. But what they tell everybody is it was nothing. Depending on when we are, if we're 50s, maybe it was one night before he left for the war. And when he got back, she was so busy helping with the resort, she didn't have time for him.
And Ichabod had a deferment for college.
Yes.
Yes.
There's our class divide.
There we go. Locking that shit down.
So he just introduced himself to her and her dad.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next scene that happens after that?
I think here we need to establish the relationship between Ichabod and the father. And I think that comes in the form of a tour of the grounds and introducing various staff. So head of housekeeping, head of culinary, whatever you want to call it, food and drink. Catherine, who's front of house. And I feel like there's got to be one other wild card in there.
Handyman?
Brom. Yeah.
I think his formal introduction to Brom Bones needs to be almost happenstance. Brom doesn't actually work here.
Yeah.
He's just doing work here. Maybe he gets introduced when he's delivering a case of beer.
But here it's, there's also our handyman, Brom. You'll meet him later. Not getting that he's already met him. And then I think he's going to run into Brom at least one more time without being formally introduced in town. And that can set up some antagonism in that meeting before the formal introduction of, oh shit, I gotta work with you too.
Yes, I like that.
The other thing we need to introduce is the town's relationship with the ghosts.
I think that's pretty easy to do in terms of, and I know this isn't as fun for us as the writers, but I feel like that's pretty easy to do in terms of set dressing. You can have witch bells and little baubles hanging around that make it clear that yes, this is a nice Christian town or whatever, but they still do some superstitious stuff. And it could be stuff you have the horseshoes, you have the iron nails, that kind of thing. It's one of those things.
Hex signs.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we can even slow build to a minor reveal that the town has ghosts and knows about it. And we start with minor set dressing, and then it builds from there. Maybe he's at a drugstore and somebody's buying some potion ingredients in front of him, and then he's in the woods for some reason later, and there's straight up a coven meeting happening. Or
well, another thing is because
I'm leaning towards witches, not ghosts, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, he could be talking about, you have all these, the Hotel Corp thing, right? With the whole sterilization and commercialization, is, well, you have all these things that are you have this thing in every window, that's not, why do you have that? Oh, that's for the ghosts or whatever. And she's like, haha, very funny. No, that's not the Hotel Corp way.
This is where he gets forceful.
Yeah.
First off, I think that Ichabod Crane also needs to be, superstitious, but unaware of the specifics of what goes on around here,
Yeah.
Because he kind of has to be a gullible fool. He has to, believe the things he's told.
Yeah.
And I think that, we've been saying the town, and I'm making big finger quotes, knows about the ghosts. I think that the town knows about the ghosts in, a vague, general sense. Again, to go back to that one tweet, I don't specifically know what's out there in the woods, but I know that there's something out there, and I know that it stays out there and I stay in here. Everybody has some kind of story about something they saw in the woods. Are any of them true? I don't know. It's not worth going to find out.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
I am moderately stitious.
What if the haunting that the town is aware of and just lives with is a parcel of land that no one owns, adjacent to the Sweetheart Hotel property?
There's a bridge, and it's one of those things where there's the bridge and then there's big vacant plot of land, but everything around it is kind of developed, and that's the edge of the town.
And it's it's either adjacent to the hotel property or technically owned by the hotel but underutilized. And there's something in the Hotel Corp guidebook that about property maximization.
Yes.
And ideas, and he wants to, like, he starts floating ideas like we could do tennis courts over in that vacant lot. And everyone just immediately, no, we won't. And when he presses, ghosts.
It could even be as simple as, like, he floats the idea with one of the older staff members, and they're like, that's not vacant. He's like, what are you talking about? And no one will give him a straight answer until Katrina.
Like, at first, oh, that's not our land.
Yeah.
At some point goes into town, looks at records to find out whose land it is. Maybe his superiors on a telegram tell him to.
I'm right now kind of gumming a thought of a ghost train as being part of the and maybe this can be part of how we establish the vague spookiness of the town. His first night there, he's woken up at like 2 a.m. by the train whistle. And when he asks somebody about, does that train go by every night? And they're like, what train? There's all the trains that go by here go in the afternoon. There's no 2 a.m. Oh, you heard the ghost whistle. Yeah, you'll get used to that. I'm sorry, did you say ghost whistle? Yeah, you'll get used to it. Back up. Before they get used to it, you said ghost. Yeah, spook, hauntings, the ghost whistle. You'll get used to it. And then maybe as, like, the person just walks away as if that's the most natural thing in the world. And I want to say that, like, Ichabod takes out from his pocket a lucky rabbit's foot and kind of, like, meditates over it for a second.
Ooh, I like a runner of him being, like, generically superstitious. So things like the rabbit's foot, things like a lucky penny on the floor, things like not stepping in cracks in the pavement, like the traditional little kid not walking under ladders. Superstitions, they mean shit.
Toss salt over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they don't mean shit with the hauntings. But every time he experiences a haunting, he reacts with one of those. Rabbit's foot, or sign of the cross, or...
like, Benny and the Mummy. Just going through languages and religious symbols.
He finds a 4-leaf clover at one point, and he, like, pins it to his lapel. Things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a B-plot now, with this haunted plot of land. I would like it if visually even the railway where he hears the ghost whistle, like the actual one, goes around this plot of land and not through it. Like, even the railroad knew it was haunted land.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think the revolution, if this is Poconos, I think Revolutionary War is still fine for the backstory of the ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, this one specific ghost.
Yeah.
Maybe one...
We got all kinds.
I'm thinking one night even he hears some noises that aren't the ghost whistle. Maybe there's like 2 or 3 different ones he hears throughout the story. Like, he thinks someone's shooting off fireworks in the middle of the night, but it's just the echoes of battle. And that could be closer to the horsemen.
Yeah.
Like when we get the reveal of the horsemen.
I was gonna say, we are keeping the idea that it's the Van Brunt's ancestor, right?
I like that, yeah.
That's why they know this story.
Mm-hmm. So the first one he hears is the ghost whistle. The last one he hears before he meets the Headless Horseman himself is the echoes of battle. The middle one is he hears horses.
Yeah.
And the next morning he starts asking, oh, I didn't know where in the documentation does it say that you have a stable here. I heard the horses last night. Can you show me the stable? Oh, those were haunted fillies, son.
I have an idea in my head, and I just need to figure out where to put it to make it work. But at some point, he needs to drive somewhere at nighttime and pick up a hitchhiker who disappears while he's driving.
I love that there are legitimately places in New Orleans that that cabbies will not stop because they've been stiffed on fares so many times by ghosts. Cab companies will straight up just not pick up in certain areas because they're like, the passengers keep fucking disappearing.
Goddamn cheap-ass ghosts.
And alternatively, this also happens in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but the Japanese cab drivers will keep driving to the destination, stop, open the door for the ghost, and then go on.
Because they know not to fuck with it.
Yeah.
I kind of love the picture that paints of our two countries. Japan, quiet, respectful of the ghosts and their power. The American's like, goddamn fucking cheap-ass bastards! Where's my ghost money?
I don't care if you're alive or not! I got to get paid!
So do we like this concept of him picking up a ghost hitchhiker at some point?
I think we can make it work.
Cool. So he introduces himself to... we get that montage of him meeting everybody, including being told about Brom Bones.
Mm-hmm.
This training is going to take a couple of weeks, so why don't you go out and familiarize yourself with the town? But I'd recommend being back here before sunset. No reason why.
Or I need to go into town to stock up on supplies. Can you recommend some places? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Goes into town.
Yeah. Just be back before sunset, and if you meet a woman who's crying, just ignore her and keep walking. Trust me. Okay, that's weirdly specific advice, but thank you. I will.
Yeah, I feel like it could be just make sure you're back before sunset. Why? Oh, these roads get a little dangerous if you're unfamiliar with them in the dark. Because it's like, Dad is about to spill the beans about the ghost, and Katrina's like, he literally just got here.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a minute.
It goes into town, gets some supplies.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see townspeople whisper about him and look at him as they go by, because he's new.
I think we can play with, appearance here as well. He's new, obviously. Do we want to do something like maybe a lot of the townsfolk are darker haired and maybe he has lighter hair?
I imagine him in, a light gray plaid suit, and everyone else is just in, for lack of a better term, country clothes, or comfortable clothes.
50s casual.
And it's very clear he's like, oh, this is city man, and these are not city people.
Yeah.
I think the people in town, they whisper a little bit about him, but he is charming.
Yeah.
It's not mean-spirited.
And it's not mean-spirited. And, they're partly interested because, the picture in my head that I want to say we're not doing, it's not like the beginning of Dracula.
Yeah.
When, all of these people in the villages see him and are like, oh, making signs of the cross and holding up crucifixes and, oh, he's weird and different and not from here.
No, it's like, ooh, something new to look at.
Oh, this guy, he knows funny jokes and talks really nicely.
Yeah.
He compliments everybody.
Yeah.
Look at that. He just bought a big bag of apples and is just handing them out.
Yeah, it's definitely small town curiosity, but in the sense of this is a new thing, and I will have a story about this new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And from his perspective, he's like, I'm going to make myself king of this place.
Yes.
I don't know who the important players are yet, but I want everyone to like me until I figure out who needs to like me.
Because again, going back to the original story, Ichabod is definitely ingratiating himself to everyone in town, because he knows where to get the best food from, he knows where he can get the best ale from, and he knows exactly how far to push and schmooze to get what he wants.
How to get himself invited to all the good garden parties.
Exactly. And I think also some of his ideas for the hotel should be pretty good. I think some of it's hey, maybe actually collect your bills on time so you can make sure the lights stay on.
Stuff like that, and also stuff like minor modernization. Hey, why don't you try a theme night? You can't just have the same oldies record playing in your restaurant every night. The same old people show up and no one new comes because you're not offering anything new.
Yeah.
He has ideas.
Why don't you take the fanciest room in your place, but it's just got a square bed? Make it a heart-shaped bed and a heart-shaped jacuzzi tub. You're trying to make romance here, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is the 50s, baby. This isn't your grandma's honeymoon resort. This is a place where you could be a movie star.
Maybe the heart-shaped bed is a bridge too far, but he convinces them to get special sheets. Maybe you get white sheets in this room and pink ones in this room and
dimmer switches.
Yes.
Things that are just normal for us but would have been new and exciting in the 50s.
Yes.
Every room gets a television.
Yes. There we go.
And this can be a little bit of a joke that the screen is 4 square inches, but everybody's fucking amazed by that.
Yes.
The honeymoon suite gets a 6-incher.
Wasn't it already?
Giggity.
Not for me.
This 4-inch screen is enormous.
Yeah, I like that. Like, his good ideas that work are, like, what we consider basic amenities at a hotel.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, everything we've got so far and keeping them in more or less in order. He comes in with the duckling, and then the introducing to everybody montage, then the going into town bit, be back before sundown, charming the locals.
And I think when he's in town charming locals is when he needs to run into Bones again.
Yes. And I think he recognizes him from giving him directions earlier. He wants to thank him. So how about I buy you a drink?
What if he tries to go a little overboard with his thank you gift? And Bones sees right through it. He's like, I just gave you directions. You don't need to buy me this, like, glass figurine from a tchotchke place, you know what I mean?
See, I was thinking buy you a drink, because you seem like the kind of guy who likes a beer. And they go into a local establishment that's like, the towny bar.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're in there, Bones talks about Catherine.
By name or not by name?
I think by name. Like Ichabod asks him, so I'm new to town. Or maybe asking about him, so, Mr. Bones, what was his name?
Van Brunt.
Mr. Van Brunt? Oh, call me Bones. Brom Bones. Everyone else does. Okay, well, Mr. Bones, tell me about yourself. Do you have a wife and kids? No, I had a girl once. Well, kinda. We can establish that a little bit. Here.
Yeah, I think here, he doesn't need to use her name. I think Ichabod is going to put it together when he sees how Brom and Katrina interact. But he's already kind of got a little bit of a crush on Katrina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, we set up the backstory. Because I wanted there to be, like... I wanted to wait another scene with Bones before we reveal to Ichabod that is Bones that he's heard of. But if we could reveal it here if we keep the Catherine history for a later reveal. Because part of the fun of a fish out of water is having the fish learn about the water that he's no longer in. Learn about...
I think early on, during the introducing people montage, he gets told about Mr. Van Brunt, who you'll meet later.
Mm-hmm.
So when he invites him in for a drink as thanks for the directions, he introduces himself as Brom Bones.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't recognize that Brom Bones and Von Brunt are the same guy.
Yeah. Everyone just calls him Bones.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe he does refer to her by name as Katie, but everyone else refers to her as Catherine, so he doesn't put two and two together until later.
As Miss Catherine.
Yes.
And then this kind of good time, feel-good fest is interrupted when Bones points out it's getting late, you should probably start heading back to your hotel. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know what he's here for, but he figures if you're an out-of-towner, you must be staying at a hotel. You'd best be getting back now.
Well,
it's going to be dark soon.
He thinks he's staying at the Sweetheart, because he gave him directions earlier.
Oh, yeah, right. You'd best get going back to the Sweetheart. It's going to be dark pretty soon.
I think it could be fun to play with. He goes outside and a black cat crosses his path.
Yeah. There's an A-frame ladder perched around the saloon door. He goes under the ladder. Black cat walks by. Steps on a mirror that's on the ground.
When he pays for the beers, the bartender goes to take his money and he stops him. Wait a minute. Looks at the quarter and then gives him a different quarter. Says, I need this one. And then it's like he walks out, he kisses it, flips it, and puts it in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He does that after the black cat walks past his...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then this is his first night at the Sweetheart. Yeah. He gets woken up at 2 a.m. by the ghost whistle.
Yeah. Up the next morning, goes down to the restaurant to get some coffee. And he asks the waiter... Because I imagine this is a hotel that has like a pretty fancy like restaurant downstairs... with the bar attached, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the waiter about the train. Have that conversation we talked about earlier. Oh, that's the ghost whistle. You'll get used to that.
Yeah.
I think 78 cents, sir.
I think they introduce... if we're saying he's staying a couple weeks, I think it should be Ghost Train for a week, and then battle, and then horses. Or battle, or horses and then battle. Yeah. So it's like he does actually get used to the ghost train, so the ghost tries something new.
I think no, he doesn't get used to the ghost train. He asks if there's another room he can stay in. Maybe somewhere on the other side of the building.
Okay.
And over there is where the ghost battle is. And after a week of not sleeping from the ghost battle, can I get a third room? And what was the third thing?
The second thing was horses.
Yeah, so it's train, horses, and then battle.
So maybe something up on the third floor.
It's clear to us that he's doing it because he's annoyed, but he says it's company policy during his stay to stay in different parts of the hotel to learn the different experience.
Yes.
He makes up an excuse.
Yeah, that's good.
So now that everything's kind of established, he starts the training. We see bits of training, but that part's not important, even though it's literally a training module. That part's not important. We need another interaction with him and Catherine.
I think as the we should see her interacting with him during the montage, and like maybe she's a little like off in the corner and a little standoffish, and then slowly starts moving, like literally starts moving towards him through the different things that they're doing, because she's like, oh, he has some actually good ideas. He's not just gonna ruin everything. And so then I think maybe it's like the end of his first week, and she's like, let's go to the bar, my treat, or something.
I think we should have something on day 2.
Okay.
That still establishes that she's like, I wasn't okay when my father sold the place. He is a lot more relaxed now, and I am grateful that Hotel Corp hasn't fired any of my employees yet. Now I'm keeping an eye on you as you're doing this training to make sure that you're not going to screw us once you leave. And then we get a montage of like a week of training, and the staff is falling in love with him, and he's like, oh, we're actually going to hire even more people for this stuff once we're successful. And she warms up to him there, and then she also sees his heart and his honesty, and sees him less as just like a little corporate stooge.
We also need to have little interstitials with the duck.
Oh, yes. He spends his evenings tending for the duck. You have something to add, Toby?
I heard there was talk of duck. You had said something about, I want to make sure that you're not going to screw us. And part of my mind went, no, but I'd like to screw you. But this is not the time or place for that line.
It's a good line,
and
though.
Frankly, I think it's a little clumsy, actually.
Okay, Locag.
Nobody's gonna know what that means.
I'm giving Bill stuff to do in the edit.
Don't you always? So after a week of getting to know him better, maybe even part of that montage is him asking her for drinks after training. And she always says no.
Yeah, or maybe he invites everyone.
It's a group thing. He invites everyone, but he invites her specifically, and she doesn't go.
He individually invites her as part of the group each time. Like, hey everybody, we're gonna get good day of training today. Let's go down to the bar and round on me. Catherine, you coming? No. Okay. But then her no's become less and less forceful as the week goes on, as she starts to consider it. Maybe she walks by one night and sees everyone having a good time playing darts or dominoes, or what did people in the 50s think was new and interesting?
Shuffleboard?
Shuffleboard.
That's my go-to bar game.
You're also 10,000 years old.
Billiards.
Yes, I am older than the seas.
Poker. Just various fun adult time hangout stuff. Get to know you stuff. Games you can chat during.
Yes.
Because I think they could, like, by the end of the week, like, she does join them, and maybe they're playing one of the games, and he's just like, see, I'm not as bad as you thought I was.
Yeah.
I may wear starched shirts, but I'm not one.
Maybe they're playing billiards or something, and she just, like, appears in the room after he wins a game, and she's like, I got next. And they start playing, and then we fade into them. Like, he's helping her close down the bar. They're the only two left that night. And they're having a little conversation.
Yeah.
And here she can establish that he's earned her trust to an extent.
Honestly, I think I was worried when my dad sold speech might go well here, because that explains why she was so standoffish earlier.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Especially when she was so nice to him in the beginning.
Yeah. So now we see her, like, her true kindness as opposed to her customer service kindness for the first time.
Yeah.
And then this is where he asks for a new room.
If there's anything I can do for you. Honestly, they said I would, and I think he plays this off, like trying to be cool, but maybe he's fidgeting with the rabbit's foot or his lucky quarter or whatever. He's just like, they said I was gonna get used to the ghost train, but I just can't do it. And, you know, corporate policy is I gotta try it from a bunch of different places. Can I get a different room this week?
On the other side of the building?
Yeah.
Another idea that I'm kind of gumming with is after this, you know, they were closed. You said they closed down the bar, just the two of them?
Yeah, like they're putting the chairs up on the tables, you know, that.
Is this the hotel bar or the townie bar?
Hotel bar.
Just to clarify.
I feel like it's the hotel
Okay.
bar.
I thought this was the townie bar.
No. I think this is all taking place in the hotel bar because he realizes he has more power over her here. And he's trying to ingratiate himself with her.
Yes, but I think he's also aware that he has power here and doesn't want to use that power yet. He's still in the ingratiating myself period, you know, showing off to the town and everybody else.
If we want to have a concrete reason why it's at the hotel, the first night, for some reason, your local closes at sundown every night. So we're just going to do it here.
Yes.
At the hotel.
I just want to share the idea that I had that was kind of predicated on it happening in the townie bar.
Okay.
They finish, you know, they're the last two at the bar, and it's late, it's after dark. They start walking back to the hotel together, and then he hears, like, the sound of someone crying. He looks down an alley and sees a pale woman in a wedding gown. He's about to say something when Catherine says, "Never mind, just keep walking." And at first he, like, asks, "Well, wait, hang on. Aren't you even a little bit curious?" And she's like, "No, we know about her. That's one of the ghosts." And this is where we can more firmly establish that, like, oh yeah, like, people in this town know that there's some ghosts that do things and you just gotta avoid them.
I think that's a little strong. I think it could be... I don't hate the idea, but I think it could be as simple as maybe she just grabs his hand and keeps walking.
Mm-hmm. And I think we can keep that as the hotel bar if this hotel is set up as having multiple buildings on the property, as some hotels do.
Or even...
like the restaurant, bar, and, like, main tower.
The campfire bar.
Something, yeah. Like, there's one building that's a bunch of rooms and the restaurant and bar. And then, or the restaurant.
This one's at, like, a pavilion down by...
Yeah, there's another building
pond.
that's room and the bar. And they're, like, old. Some of the buildings are older, some are, like, more recently built.
Yeah, or it could even be, like, a horseshoe or arch-shaped hotel in front of a pond.
Yeah.
And so it's just, like, it's actually faster to go outside. But I also like the idea of it being multiple buildings. But I kind of like the idea of it... I do actually like the idea of it being outside at the, like, pavilion, because maybe that used to be a wedding pavilion, and that's why there's a crying bride ghost there.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is a honeymoon resort.
Yeah.
I like the horseshoe shape idea.
Yeah.
And maybe previous nights, he's walked back through the hotel with the other employees to their quarters. And this night, he's like, "It's a beautiful night. It's just the two of us. Why don't we take the outside route?" She's like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" As a DM would say, blowing on their dice.
You can certainly try.
And then what you said, they're walking through and chatting, and he starts to wander down one path, and she just pulls him the other way, like a slightly longer way. And then you hear the crying. Down the shorter path is the path by the gazebo, and she takes a longer path around the pond. And the thing with the crying.
And I think it should just... because I don't want to come on too strong with the ghost, because I do kind of want him to think, oh, these guys are silly, even though he's superstitious. I like the idea of him maybe in his new room, he has a better view of the lake, and he sees something, like, shiny and white at the lake later.
Horses.
Yeah.
They're gonna wake him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that he gets to his room that night. He's had a very good night talking with the girl that he's got a crush on. Lays down in bed. No ghost horn tonight. Looks at the clock. It's 1:30 in the morning. Time to fall asleep. Closes his eyes. Is that a fucking horse?
Luna did not like your horse impression.
Neither did the audience, trust me. It wasn't very good. Nay, Winnie, Winnie, Winnie. We're horses! We're horses!
Horse noises! And I feel like the thing that the horse ghosts do is they all kind of freak out and stampede into the lake.
Yeah.
Because one time in 1619, all of the horses drowned.
Maybe they were... Not that this actually matters, we don't need to put this in there, but I'm thinking, like, maybe the settlers rounded up all the Indian horses, and all the Native American horses, and drowned them on purpose to make sure they couldn't be ambushed or whatever.
Yeah. Horse ghosts.
So, bad joke time. I think all of the English settlers rounded up all of the Indians' horses. Meanwhile, the Native Americans are standing and watching this like, what the fuck? Why did all of these people from the subcontinent of India come here with horses? And why are the Germans drowning them?
Oh shit, they spotted us, run. Whatever reason we decide, there are horse ghosts.
Yes.
And I think that this doesn't go in the movie. We don't know why these horse ghosts freak out and then run into the water and look like they're drowned.
Right.
Yeah. It's one of those things where maybe there could be, like... Again, it could be set dressing. I think we should know as the writers, but we don't have to put that in the movie.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where let the audience fill in their own blanks. It'll be scarier that way.
Yes.
In this comedy.
A better mystery that way.
Yes.
Yes. So I think week 1 was all, like, getting closer to Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like week 2 is feuding with Brom Bones.
Yeah, this is where he needs to find out about their history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
I think he should be he should wake up cranky because of the ghost horses.
We echo the scene from earlier when he's getting his coffee the first morning and asking about the train whistle. Next morning, he's getting his coffee. He's flipping through paperwork he has on the hotel. And he asks the waiter, "Excuse me, when did you guys get stables? They're not in my materials." "We don't have stables, sir."
When did you get stables? I'm not seeing this in the file. Oh, we got the stables in 1892, but we had them taken out in the 30s.
Yeah. Well, I saw 4 horses playing in the lake last night from my window. Oh, those horses. Yeah.
And I think, like, 2 other people just kind of shake their heads and...
Yeah. They're not ours. You'll get used to them.
Are you sure that's not a liability? I mean, we could be sued for, don't worry, nobody owns those horses. They'll be back.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it.
You'll get used to it.
I like that as kind of a runner with these specific...
Yeah, me too. So I think after his breakfast, he's going to pop over to Catherine's workstation, wherever she is working at this moment. Because they had a great night last night. He got to know her better. Was there even a kiss on the cheek when they went into the hotel after their walk?
Yes.
So he goes to say hi, and then her father comes in with Bron.
See, I think he needs to break something kind of small. Maybe like a light bulb burns out in his room. And when he goes to Catherine, he tells her, hey, we've got a little wiring issue. And she says, okay, I'll call Mr. Van Brun, was it?
Van Brunt.
I'll put a call out to Mr. Van Brunt. What were you going to say, Bill?
I'd like it if what's broken is something he broke in the room when he saw the horses. Like maybe he broke the latch on his window or the shutter or something like that, so his shutter is doing the flappy thing. Something along those lines.
Okay.
Or that could even be what drew him to the window to see the horses. Although I think I like the sound better. Yeah, anyway, something along those lines. What if he asks for Mr. Van... Because she wouldn't call him that. She would call him Bron.
No, I think she calls him Mr. Van Brunt on purpose.
I thought they were cordial.
You can still be cordial and still be petty.
True.
See, I think of it more as a professionalism thing. Right now, she's in work mode, and when he comes here to do work, he puts on a name tag with his birth name.
I just like the idea of stretching out the one bit a little bit longer with like, hey, the shutter's broken. Why don't we call that Von Brunt fella your father was talking about? Oh, yeah, sure, I can give Von Brunt a call. Like, who calls him that? But she doesn't reveal his real name and that they've met.
Yeah.
I think, why don't you call that handyman? What was his name? Mr. Van Buren? Mr. Van... And she's like, you mean Mr. Van Brunt?
Yeah.
Okay, I can call him.
I still like the idea of her playfully saying, yeah, I can call him Mr. Van Brunt. Like, joking at how formal the name is. Because I think she's going to be less formal with Ichabod now, since her character's developed a bit. And then, day off of training, maybe. So he's going to go up in his room and do some paperwork for the company. And she just says, I'll send him up when he gets here. So then, a few hours later, he's, working on his files. Knock on the door. Hey, Bones! Good to see ya! How'd you know I was still in town? Or something like that. And he's there in his full fucking handyman uniform with Von Brunt on it. And then he puts two and two together.
I don't think he has a handyman uniform. I think he's always in a flannel. But now he's got, like, the name tag.
Yeah.
And he always has the top two buttons unbuttoned.
No, I changed my mind. I don't even need a name tag. Because I think we can have some playful dialogue here. Like, hey, Bones, what brings you here? Do you want another drink? I'll finish up this paperwork and we'll go. He's like, no, man, I'm here to fix the shutter in your window. Who told you about the shutter? Oh, Katie gave me a call. Kate? I don't know what Kate... Oh.
he hang on, I feel like we can piece this a little bit more smooth. He's I want to say instead of paperwork, he's like reading a novel, because it's his day off, right?
Right.
Knock at the door, opens it, he has a name tag, but he doesn't clock it. He just recognizes, oh, Bones! To what do I owe the pleasure? Come on in.
Oh, Ichabod, it's your shutter that's broken, huh?
I want him to say something like, this isn't a social call. Katie told me that there's a broken shutter in this room that needs fixing. That needs fixed.
Mm-hmm.
That is a specific way of talking that people have. This isn't a social call. Katie told me there's a shutter that needs fixed. And then as like he backs up and Bones comes into the room, this is when he sees the name tag. And does he say anything or does he ask him? I thought the handyman's name was...
Ooh, how about... Katie said there's a shutter needs fixed. He walks over, puts his toolbox down, opens the window, starts getting to work. Oh, this Katie of yours again, huh? Does she work for Mr. Von Brunt? And then he turns around. I'm Mr. Von Brunt. Then who is Katie? The front of house. Miss Catherine? You've known her for a week now. It's still a little clunky.
Does she work for Mr. Von Brunt? Mr. Von Brunt was my father and grandfather. They just call me Brom. I told you to call me Brom. Mr. Von Brunt was my dad.
Does she work for Mr. Von Brunt? No, she doesn't work for me, and I told you, call me Bones. In fact, she works with you.
And then I like how you had with the Miss Katie. You've known her for about a week now.
Yeah.
Miss Catherine?
Yeah, Katie. Miss Catherine? She works downstairs. You've known her for like a week. Not doing your job well if you haven't met the whole staff yet.
And then he like sets to... He should be working for the rest of whatever they talk about.
Instead of reading a novel, he's writing a really bad poem for Catherine, which gives him some action to do while he's working there. He realizes the toolbox was set down on this love poem he's writing on the desk, so he's trying to get the poem out from under the toolbox so that Bron can't see it while they're talking about other things. I'm just trying to think of like some action to have happen.
Maybe Bones asks Ichabod to help him. Like, hey, as long as you're here, you want to be my assistant? And then the action can be like, okay, I need, a quarter-inch miter.
Mm-hmm.
You mean this thing? No. That bit of...
Oh, yeah, play that game? Yeah, no,
yeah, play that game.
I like that. And the conversation they're having around the bit is about Catherine. We get some more details on what she used to be like and what attracted him to her to him before the war. Get more details on on what happened. Like, I came back and she was so busy here, there was never an opportunity, and it becomes very clear that Ichabod is overstepping some lines.
I have a question, and I don't know if it's too much. Did she have an older brother who died in the war?
I don't want to add a new character now.
Well, we're not really adding a character.
I don't feel like adding a ghost. We have enough ghosts to worry about. We don't need the metaphorical ones as well.
All media is about grief, Bill. Accept it.
I
Accept
do.
it.
This one's not about grief. This one's a training video for a hotel company.
That's also about grief.
Catherine's brother's ghost is, like, in Normandy.
He's the post-credits.
And again, just, like, part of this scene underscores one of the differences between Brom and Ichabod. How Ichabod doesn't know what these tools are or how to use them.
Yeah, exactly. They can't tell the difference between a flat head and a Phillips head.
Yes. I mean, I'm also kind of showing my whole ass here that I can't think of any specific tools that I can then say how to use.
You're also a Boy Scout.
But imagine I knew what tools were. Yeah, my tools are like rocks and ropes and hatchets.
Yeah. But yeah, we play that game over them conversing more about Catherine.
Okay, I love you both. Her name is Katrina.
It's Catherine now.
We can't name her after a hurricane.
I just
That hasn't even happened yet, Cody.
I just want it to be made clear that in the original story, her name is Katrina. If we're choosing Catherine, that's fine.
I think we've landed on Catherine.
Okay.
Because why not?
It is a firmly established fact that I am not good with names.
I remember how many times the Schmiggleton account changed in the last one we did.
How long did I keep forgetting that Scarlet's name was Scarlet?
I don't even remember what movie that was.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go back and listen to the Little Red Riding Hood episode. That was a good one.
But first, let's finish this one up.
Yeah. So, and at the time of recording, we're at about an hour 30, so maybe we should pump the gas just a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, week 2. I think at the end of week 2...
Week 2 is him and Brom both figuring out that they like the same girl.
Yeah. Fun and games with...
Maybe he just keeps running into Brom, and it's almost like the jump scares are Brom instead of a ghost.
Like, it clicks with Brom that he's horny for her. So Brom just keeps finding excuses to stay around the hotel and keep an eye on him. And Ichabod's afraid to make a move with Brom nearby.
Yes.
As he continues his courtship. And here he also learns about the social dynamics of the town, that this would help him escape his old life and become better here.
In the original story, because Ichabod is smarter than Brom, Brom uses Ichabod's superstitious nature to make him look silly. So I think maybe a couple pranks, especially in situations where he could be courting Katrina or courting Catherine, or...
He uses clever wordplay to make Brom sound stupid at a party.
Yeah. And Brom gets him back by, like, making him pour coffee down his shirt or something.
It unscrews some screws on his chair.
Yeah.
Brom gets him back by doing the old, the old sugar me do? Where you loosen the lid on the sugar thing?
Yeah.
But instead of that, it's the salt shaker. And the reason it's the salt shaker is it makes him spill the salt, which he then has to carefully gather up and then toss over his shoulder.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Maybe he sneaks a black cat in at some point to freak him out.
Yep.
I heard you like animals. Do you want to help? Do you want to help this? And it's like a black cat that just had kittens.
So this progresses throughout week 2.
Yes.
At the end of week 2, they're going to have their final end of training celebration in a few nights. The big gala or whatever. Because this is a party, right? That's like the center point of the original story?
Yes.
So that we're building to?
Yeah.
Okay. I just realized I wasn't sure we were on the same page there.
Yeah, it's like a big fall fest.
Yeah. So it's the big end of training, end of season.
In the original, it's specifically Halloween.
Ah.
The scariest holiday.
Yeah, that makes sense. We could do it at Halloween. This could be October.
Yeah.
So end of training, he's going to stay a few extra days to help with their big Halloween party. And he's staying because he wants to spend more time with Catherine.
Yep.
He asks her to be put into the third room in the other part of the building now, so that he can get interrupted with Revolutionary War cannon fire in the middle of the night. Do that same bit again at the coffee. I thought I heard fireworks. It sounded like the 4th of July last night. Oh, no. That's just the Battle of Wapwallopin. You'll get used to it.
Maybe with this one they do kind of lampshade, or they don't say what it is at first. Maybe they're just like, oh yeah, maybe it was just some hooligans in the woods. Because it's the third one, so you want to like finish the joke, and
I do want to say that I think it's a stronger punchline for it to be something crazy like, oh, that's just the ghost battle of whatever town we're in. You'll get used to it.
That's true.
Like, that is... Because the audience is already set up for the you'll get used to it, but that is something that no one's going to get used to. A battle raging outside their window every night.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they say that, and then he's just like, what? No, it's definitely kids in the woods with guns and not whatever I said.
No. They say ghost battle and they play it clean. Because I want there to be a moment of confrontation later. Now that we've established that Bones has a prank element, he can start blaming Bones on all of it. I bet it's you who's out there shooting off fireworks outside my window every night, driving horses into the pond, blowing a whistle out in the field every night. It's you prankster, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, what? Oh, we heard the night whistle? Just...
What if that justification comes at the party because what I'm imagining is there's like a storytelling element. They tell the Headless Horseman story, and it ends with like Carrie style, with like a water balloon or something getting dropped on Ichabod, ruining his suit, and he gets upset, and like maybe he was just about to like make a move on Katrina or Catherine. Now I'm doing it, and that's when the like Carrie water balloon or bucket or whatever, and that's when he loses his temper at Brahm and freaks out and leaves.
I think it's an accident that makes him lose his cool. Like, somebody going by with the big Halloween punch bowl just stumbles and pours punch on his fancy white suit, and he blames Bones.
I think first, he needs to make some kind of proposal to Miss Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she needs to let him down easy.
Yeah. So then...
And this is at the party, right? Not before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she lets him down easy. He gets punched or caked or something sudden, and Bronn snickers because everyone else is kind of shocked and feels bad because he has everyone else's respect, but he never had Bronn's.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they hash it out, and then we need to get to the Headless Horseman part. Which, how does that go in the story again?
He's going home and he's getting pursued.
No, before it happens, Brom Bones tells the story to freak him out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And part of it is because he just got... In the original, he asked her to marry him, and she turned him down. So he's already feeling low. Brom Bones tells this really scary story, and then what he says in the story happens as he's riding home.
Yeah.
Okay. What if we flip the order of that, and that story is told every year at this party? Bronn tells the story, and it freaks Ichabod out. After the storytelling part, they move on to the next phase of the party. And this is where he pulls...
I think instead of he tells this story every year, they have a storytelling contest every year. Because everybody knows that there's something spooky in this town. Everybody has a story. Everybody tell your story.
That works.
And Brom tells this one.
Yeah. However, we get Bronn on the stage to tell the story.
Because Bronn's motivation is he wants to show he's good and clever with words, too.
I like it. So he hears...
But also, in addition to showing I'm good and clever with words, I also want to show that this Ichabod Crane thinks he's a big fancy boy, but he's a scared little wuss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a dummy who will get scared of a little story.
Yeah.
Okay. So he hears the story. He pulls Catherine aside.
Mm-hmm.
I think the proposal he gives her is not one of marriage, but to come back to the city with me. I think you will do great at Hotel Corporate. I think you'd be great as our head of hospitality. And
I think she lets him down gently, and I think she should say something alluding to her relationship with Brom, which is like, or like it doesn't directly allude to it, but he thinks it does, like something like, oh, well, my heart is here.
Yeah, maybe some speech about, like, this place is a vacation for people like you, but this is my home. My friends are here. My family is here. I love this place. As she says, I love this place, she turns and looks at Bronn.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just... It's only been 2 weeks. I can't just go back to the city for you.
Yeah.
If I'm ever taking a trip down there, I'll look you up. And if things go south here, then maybe I'll give you a call. But I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
And then he's sad and depressed about it. Gets punched on. Blows up at Bronn.
Yeah.
And storms out.
I think maybe he's a little tipsy.
Oh, yeah. He's doing his normal stuff, like he's like rubbing the rabbit's tail, but then he takes a shot.
Yeah.
And then he's like flipping his lucky quarter as he's listening to the story.
Yeah.
And then he like chases it with some liquor, and he's getting drunker as he's panicking more. As his normal methods of easing his suffering aren't working.
Yeah, like what if it's almost like his relationship with the town backfires because they see him nervous and keep offering him more to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the idea of him going outside and all of the things we've already experienced or demonstrated with the ghosts show up again. Like, he hears the ghost train, and he's like, I'm just drunk, it's fine. And then, like, but he still starts walking a little bit faster. And then he hears the horses, because he's by the lake, and he skirts the lake, and he's, like, walking a little bit faster, almost running. And then he,
I'm imagining this happening as he's, like, leaving the property with his suitcases in hand, heading back to his car.
Yes.
Like, he gets out of the hotel, he hears the night whistle. Oh, fuck that shit again. Keeps walking, hears the horses whinny, walks a little bit faster. Ghost cannonball whizzes by his head, and he stops dead, and he's like, what the fuck was that? Throws his shit in his car, and starts driving off.
I think if we call back the bride, he sees her crying again, but this time he approaches as if he's going to tell her, just, hey, listen, quit bitching. Life ain't so bad. But when he does, like, she looks up at him and her head keeps turning until it kind of falls off in an unhuman way, and he's like, what the fuck am I even looking at?
Fucks off back to his car. Drives drunk, I don't care. It's the 50s. It was allowed then.
It was required.
Yeah. And I think it should be one of those things where there's an annoying light in the rear view, and it looks like somebody's using their brights, but then he's like fixes it, and then you realize it's something bright behind him.
Before that, he goes to take the road off the property that he used to enter, but the gate's shut because it's after sundown. And he looks to his left and he sees another road that goes through the haunted parcel.
Yes.
So he goes down that road instead. And we'll lay breadcrumbs to that earlier in the film, that is the haunted parcel and all that, set all that up better.
Yeah.
And that's where he encounters the Headless Horseman. Yeah?
Yes. And I think that can go pretty much that can go pretty much as it goes in the...
Yeah. Which is exactly how Bronn tells it.
Yeah. Now, because he's driving a car and not riding a horse, does he drive into the bridge?
So how does it go in the original again?
He's being chased by the Headless Horseman, and he's desperately trying to get to this bridge because either legend says the ghost can't cross it or it's holy land. And so the horseman launches something at him, and that's what stops him, and he falls off the horse. Or
it seems like it's throwing its head, or it may be Brom Bones throwing a jack-o'-lantern at it.
Because in the morning, The only thing that's there is the horses in the meadow, and there's scattered pieces of a broken pumpkin.
So he sees the bridge down the end of the road, guns for it. The horseman, unnaturally fast, or teleports in front of him, appears in front of him, throws his head, it explodes on his windscreen so he can't see. And the last thing we see is from behind, his car hitting the bridge at way too fast and catching air and disappearing over the other side. And that's the last we see of him.
I think, just to space things out just a little bit, I want him to crash his car, get out, and then run from the horseman on foot. He's really close to the bridge, so he can almost make it. The horseman throws his head at Ichabod. Smash cut to tomorrow morning. The car is still there. Nothing else.
I like the idea of him throwing his head at the windshield, which causes the car accident, though.
Yeah, I kind of prefer that, because I think him getting out of the car doesn't make sense for our character.
Yeah, because he's a bit of a wimp.
I also kind of like the idea of the jump scare of he sees the horseman in the rear view and the horseman disappears and he thinks he's safe and then turns to look at the front and the horseman is in front of him. And that's head at window, flames, crash into the bridge.
Ooh, I figured it out, a way to satisfy all of us here. He's driving fast. He swerves around through the grass, around the horseman, back to the road. Looks to his right, in the mirror above where it says objects in mirror are closer than they appear. He sees the horseman, we do the Jurassic Park. He sees the horseman chasing after him, and then as he looks in front of him, the horseman's there, and that causes him to swerve and right into a tree. And then he gets out, makes a break for the bridge, and then the horseman throws his head, like you said. I think that
there we
satisfies all the beats that we all kind of wanted here.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
And then from here, do we see the townsfolk again, or does the narrator talk us out?
I think we see the townfolk again as the narrator's talking us out. But I think it's another montage.
Like, some of the groundskeeping staff are examining the crashed car, and one of them finds the pumpkin. Bronn and Catherine come out of her quarters together.
I think that we see that the next day. The maybe it's even some cops investigating this crashed car and bits of pumpkin. But then I want us to jump to the following spring. That's when Bronn comes out of Catherine's quarters.
As the narrator says, and the following spring, the Sweetheart Hotel had a 150% increase year over year in honeymoon visits. And then out of the honeymoon suite come Catherine and Bronn.
Yes. And then we get, like, the end with, like, wedding bells.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything, like, very jarringly stops as the camera pulls out of the cathode ray tube screen of a big TV on a cart.
The video's now paused.
Yes.
It does that CRT thing where it, like, flickers back and forth between two frames.
Yes.
Yes. And the trainer is like, wow, really makes you think, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. What was the point of that?
Full Pootie Tang.
I don't know what that means.
Someone will, and they'll laugh at that.
And all of the jokes that we had earlier, about the quality and ILM and directing.
Yeah. As our actual credits roll. Yeah.
And I kind of want the last line to be, no, really, what was the point of this training module?
Buddy, it's in the manual. I have to show it.
And then credits.
Yeah.
Any other beats that we want to cram into our movie, or should we start casting it?
I think we should start casting it.
Yep.
I'm gonna start with I think this is an easy one. I think the trainer should be Tim Robbins.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
It's kind of playing off that same sketch from the show, but I think it would work.
Yeah. James Marsden as the Headless Horseman. I don't know why. I just like the idea of him being a ghost man.
Okay.
Okay, so we need our love triangle. I think that's really what we need to nail.
I think we need to have Ichabod be a little bit more stereotypical professor vibe, whereas Brom is more stereotypical beefy guy vibe.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm kind of thinking if you took Michael Cera and added Jesse Eisenberg and then divided by Jason Schwartzman, you would get close to what I want for Ichabod.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, that's some real complex Hollywood math.
Yeah. I want a young Nick Offerman type for Bronn.
Yes, I was thinking again, to do some really complicated Hollywood math, Nick Offerman to the power of Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. I was thinking Patrick Warburton as the narrator.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Man, I'm stuck on this.
I don't know how big of a swing this is. Matt Damon for Brom.
I think he's a little too old.
Yeah.
See, he's Odysseus.
Yeah, but Odysseus is supposed to be old.
Ah.
What about Joe Dempsey?
From Skins?
Yes.
Let me look him up.
Dempsie.
As, Bronn?
Yeah. He's also old, but he doesn't look as old as Matt Damon.
He's like a little older than me. That's about right.
Have him hit the gym a couple of times, then I'm sold.
Okay.
I'm gonna say an out there choice for Catherine. Emma Stone.
I don't hate that. I was going to suggest Emilia Clarke.
Oh, Emilia Clarke's also a strong choice. I think she's a bit older.
Not Emilia Clarke. What's her name? Pregnant woman from Lost.
Yeah, Emily Clark?
No, that's not Amelia Clark. Emily Deschanel?
No.
No. Emile de Raven.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought you were saying. She was in Brick.
Yes. I don't know how good her American accent is, though.
Fine in Brick. Emily de Raven, sorry.
Yes, Emily de Raven.
Yeah. She's a bit older, but I like her as well.
she was in that weird 9/11 movie.
Yeah.
With Robert Pattinson. Did I suggest Robert Pattinson, or did I only do that in my mind and not say it out loud?
I think you only did that in your mind.
Oh.
You want to do Emily de Raven? I think I prefer
Hey, how about
her.
Robert Pattinson for Brahm?
I'm okay with that.
So we have 2 Brahms and no Ichabod.
Give me a second.
Tom Holland?
No, too young.
Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Too unlikable.
We just used Mintz-Plasse,
No.
I feel like.
I think we just used Waltz.
God, this is a hard nut to crack.
I want...
Why is it always hard for us to pick nerds?
Because Hollywood actors are too hot.
I want like a Kieran Culkin type. Like that's the body that I want.
Why not Kieran Culkin?
Is he not too old?
He's the same age as Emily de Raven.
Is he?
And like a few years older than Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Alright. I'm down with that. I think he's charming, so...
I'm sorry, who?
Kieran Culkin.
Oh,
Scott Pilgrim's gay roommate.
Love it. Love him. Yep.
Sweet. Now let's give this bitch a title.
So, the story is called The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I know it was on the wheel as Ichabod Crane. So, do we want to just go with the name? Or do we want to do The Legend of Sweetheart Motel?
I was going to say Sweetheart Hotel.
Sweetheart Hotel in a spooky font.
Yeah. That's the poster. It's like the hotel sign, but the font is spooky. And the
No, that's the title. Sweetheart Hotel in a spooky font. See, the thing is, like, I can see you both laughing, but you're doing that thing where you're laughing quietly and not into the mic, so nobody will appreciate how funny that joke was.
No, they'll appreciate it. We're giving them time to laugh on their own, Mark.
They're just out of frame, laughing with us.
But I like Sweetheart Hotel. In the poster, the hotel is just clearly haunted.
In the off-season, things get spooky is the tagline.
Yeah. That's honestly pretty good. Oh, what we should call it is Hotel Corp Training Video Module B7.
No.
I had another idea, but I'm not able to articulate it, and it is slipping away anyway. The idea that I had was that the poster is the sign, and, like, our 3 characters standing below the sign, facing in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like an indie movie.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Catherine's looking at the hotel, the 2 boys are looking at her, but in different ways.
And really faint in the background is the ghost.
Yeah.
Who is the ghost?
James Marsden.
Right, that was the first one we said. Who is the comedic stunt cast?
Tom Hanks plays her dad.
Yes.
He's only in that one scene. Was that fucking Tom Hanks at the beginning? Why was this 90 minutes long? I didn't learn shit.
I think I want us to have one more absurdly big guest stunt cameo. And I think there needs to be... I want it to be... He calls the CEO, to make a report. The president of Hotel Corp. And it's like Barack Obama. He's only in one insert shot.
Okay, but it's supposed to be the 50s, so it can't be Obama.
That makes it funnier.
No, see, that makes it better. That somebody at the end can point out, why was Obama a CEO in the 50s?
VHSs were done when he was president. What the fuck? If we can't get former President Barack Obama,
Oh, he'll do anything for money.
Julia Roberts is the you'll get used to it waitress.
And I guess my last question then is, when does this come
Oh,
out?
mid-October.
Mid-October? This is a spooky one?
Yeah. I mean, it takes place around then, so it makes sense to release it around then.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, this is... I feel really good about this one. I think this is a fun little... Not quite horror, not quite comedy.
Yeah.
Romance, trickery, ghosts. It's got it all, really. Well, this has been The Treatment, a podcast about stories, and we've been your hosts, Mark Lucas,
Billy Beck.
And Cody Beck.
and we'll see you at the movies.